Hey everybody, I'm Robin Curian and you are watching Run It with Robin. Today I am at the Tillery Hotel in Brooklyn about to meet actor Rob Morgan. Now you've seen him in the original Netflix series Daredevil and Luke Cage, and now you can catch him in the highly anticipated film Mudbound. We're here at the Tillery with actor Rob Morgan, and we're talking about Mudbound.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, this is the second time Dee has worked with you now.
Yeah.
How did it feel having her call you and say, I need you in this film?
Oh man, it felt awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To have that kind of trust, you know, that kind of support from such a strong filmmaker.
This film was shot in 28 days.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how was it? Because I heard the workshops were really intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dee had you guys like face to face. Tell me, how intense were they?
As soon as I got off the plane, I was pushed to, I was drove to the production set, and first time I meet Jason Clark, you know, he's calling me a nigga, you know, and it's like, you know, okay, I only get to sit down, have a drink with the man, I only get to ask him about his family, he don't ask me about my family.
No water, you know?
Water with lemon, you know, first thing, hey nigga, all right, oh wow, all right nigga, yeah, okay, yeah nigga, you know, so, you know, and that was beautiful choice by Dee, you know, she's smart enough to establish safe space for us actors to play in.
Even though this is a 1940s piece, everybody's saying how relevant it is to today.
Yeah.
Can you explain what's the relevancy? Like, how is it relevant? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I mean, it's not far removed from the experiences that's going on today. Like we see in the media, we see young black men and women, black and brown, being, you know, shot and killed by police with no justice served. One of the beautiful things about this film is that it's capturing a unique time in American history that's rarely captured on film, that sharecropping era. Doing my research, I saw white people picking cotton. You never hear that part of our history.
Never.
You know, and then I'm like, wow, if they did share that part of the history, would the slave thing be such a degrading thing only to black people in this country? Because that's often what's held over the community's head. But white people were slaves too.
With your character, Hap Jackson.
Hap Jackson, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had said that you wanted to be a voice for the voiceless, and you also thought about your grandfather and your great-grandfather. How did you incorporate them into this role?
Calvin Augustus Simmons is my grandfather, and his name is mentioned in the movie Mudbound. We used to work in the tobacco fields together. He was responsible for like getting everybody out in the tobacco field before the sun rose. So I was 5 years old riding around with him, going house to house, picking up people, not only after working in the field from sun up to sun down. My grandfather, we'd take everybody and drop them off, but then we'd take whatever kind of food and stuff my grandmother may have prepared in the house that we had left over. We take it to other people's homes that may have been neglected throughout the day, like the older people. Being that Mudbound was based in Mississippi, 1940s, we shot in actual conditions of mud, oppressive 110-degree heat.
A lot of mosquitoes, I heard.
Mosquitoes, snakes, whatever, you know.
But you relished in that, I heard.
I love it.
Tell them why you loved it.
I mean, you know, because we only had to do it for 28 days. You know, the people we were portraying, that was their life. As much as we can portray it to the reality of that character, then we must honor that. That's how I feel, and that's what I did. You know, that's what I tried, that's what I attempted my best to do.
Yeah. And I feel like the whole cast did too.
Of course, yeah, we all came out there and was hitting, you know.
Mary had no makeup, no lashes, nothing.
Yeah, Mary got beautiful natural set of hair. You know, her hair, her natural is gorgeous.
Speaking of Mary, I gotta ask you, how was it being her husband in this film?
Oh, it was beautiful. You know, Mary's a beautiful spirit. She's an artist, essentially. So yeah, it was beautiful to connect and vibe with Mary.
There was a moment where Jason Mitchell, he plays your son, and there was this time, I haven't seen the film yet, but what I heard was, like, he literally just fell into your arms and he was just crying in one of those scenes. Tell me about that, and just being two black men in this film, and you know, I know like he has family that was in the war, and you know, with your grandfather, like how did that feel?
Oh man, you know, Jason and I, you know, we've had a instant bond, instant kinship the moment we, you know, set eyes on each other. The scene we were shooting was very high emotional stakes, high physical stakes, high spiritual stakes, and Jason was living it, you know, and thankfully D creates an environment where it's so safe that he was able to explore that. And when he came down, he just fell into my arms, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful to be the one to be there to comfort him. And you know, it was a very special moment that whoever was in that barn to witness it, I guarantee you they'll never forget it. We often vibe with just how blessed we both are to be doing what we're doing. I think we both, you know, have similar backgrounds, him being in the Deep South, you know, even though I was in DC, but we still have experiences that connect us, being just, like you said, black men in America.
What was your reaction when you saw Mudbound on the big screen?
There's no greater reward than a standing ovation in theater, so imagine getting that for film.
Wow.
I think it's one of the most necessary films in decades as far as the healing process for not only America, but for the world. You know what I mean? Creating a safe space so people can have some type of dialogue and start really hashing out what is hurting, where is the fear, you know, why can't we move together? You know what I mean? Why can't we live together?
All I know is that I am going to be Netflix bound on November 17th, and you got to check out Mudbound on Netflix. I'll see you next time on Run It with Robin.